Yes, yes. Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United related. Please, people, please make sure you hit the like button on the video. Make sure you share this across all of the socials. And on top of those two things, make sure you subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. So yeah, bump up them likes. All them social media apps you are active on, please make sure you share this across all the socials. And like I said, subscribe to the channel. We are closing in on 7K. So obviously it is the ManDem United podcast. And this one is for the, you know what I'm saying, the Sarcasm City TV OG fans. Or I should say Sarcasm City podcast OG fans, because you lot don't know, innit? Like the original lineup that started this channel. My brother outside of this regardless anyway. Man like Tops is in the building. Yes, family, you telling me you good?
Whoa, what's going on, fam?
Are you good? Yeah, this guy, yo. This guy looking all summertime.
Yeah, fam, got to, bro. Man got a tan and everything.
Yeah,
yo,
I can
man
tell,
got a tan, bro.
I can tell, yo.
It's wild. It's
yo,
wild.
you looking all summertime. That's why I said
It's
it,
wild.
yo. You look tan, fam. You feel me? That's why I said it. This guy been out in the sun, just sunning it up, sunbathing and shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? This guy. Where have you been? Just over here. Have you been away or something?
Just, yeah, bro, money in it. It's just
money,
wild,
maza. That's nuts, yo. You look tan, fam. I could tell from the jump. That's why I said it. You know what I'm saying?
It's wild, isn't it? Like, yo,
it's wild. Very wild. It's very wild. Big up Eddie in the cut as always. Big up Rhino. Big up Eddie, Malcolm. Daredevil, time to shine as well. All of the regulars, Faisal, Stephanie G as well. Warrior J, good to see you here as well. I'm sure some news will probably break during the show as well, people. But yeah, large up to everyone who is tapped in. And yeah, Eddie, I'm with you on this. Hit the like, people. Goddamn United, bro. Every day this Mount news makes me hate this club a little bit more. Yeah. Like I'm just not with this Mount thing whatsoever. I assume when it initially broke, and I let Tox give you like his full thoughts. I just got a quick thing to say. When it initially broke, I went to just like the 5th stage of grief. Like I was fully at acceptance. So I was like, all right, cool. And then
you can't skip the first 4 stages.
I skipped the first 4 steps, this is like
this guy, what are you?
Yo, I went straight to acceptance, yo. I was like, there's no point fighting this, yo, in it. There's no point denial. There's no point bargaining. You know what I'm saying? There's no point. I need to. I can't even remember. What are the other two? It's denial. There's bargaining. What are the other two? I know bargaining 4. Denial's the 4th, in it. You know
there's anger in it. Like you lash out in it.
Yeah. So there's denial. There's anger. There's what is it? Depression, and then there's bargaining. Yeah. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And then acceptance. That's it. I'm gonna Google it. Yeah. That's it. It's denial. Then it's what's it called? The one you mentioned in it. Yeah, it's denial. Then it's then I think it's anger, then it's depression, then bargaining, and then acceptance. I skipped all the steps and went straight to acceptance. And then when the first bid got knocked back, I was like, all right, acceptance, and then the second bid got knocked back. And I was like, all right, maybe they'll price him out. So I went to bargaining. I went from the 5th step to the 4th step. I was fully at bargaining, like maybe Chelsea are stupid enough to price him out. And then the Kai Havertz deal happened, and like, I expected Manchester United to sign Mount before Arsenal got Kai Havertz. And then obviously the news came out yesterday that he's rejected the deal. He's definitely not going to sign, and Chelsea are willing to lower the price. So I went straight back to accept.
He rejected the deal.
Say that again.
I thought he'd been rejected the deal from a while back. Is that not the case?
Yeah. But it came out permanently. Not that he rejected the deal, but also that he wasn't going to sign one at all. He's not signing it. That's what came out yesterday in between shows. So I went from bargaining on one show to an acceptance on the later show, and I was like, all right, this hopping between grief stages is not the one in it. So I'm fully at acceptance again, and it sucks. But yo, your thoughts, fam? What are you telling me about this Mason Mount?
Yeah, at first I was like, what the fuck, innit? Like, I weren't with it at all, because I've been saying he's trash for years, bro. Like, for years, I never understood it. When he played for England and Southgate would have him starting every game, just never understood it. Never watched. Obviously, I don't watch Chelsea week in, week out, innit? I'd be lying if I said I did. I only watch Chelsea with, like, a motive in it. So when Lukaku went back there, I had the motive to watch them regularly. You get me? But anytime I've seen him play, if I'm watching a Chelsea game, he's not the one that takes my eye. You get me? If I'm watching an England game, he's not the one that takes my eye. In fact, he always looks like he's bringing shit down a notch. You get me? So I went with it at all for a good couple of days in it. But when I started to try and wonder what my manager's thinking, it started to then make a bit more sense. Then I started to think about his old teams, and it started to make a bit more sense. And then I'm with it now, innit? If that's what my manager wants, I have to trust him, innit? He's not who I would go for, but like I said the last time I was on, innit, that you have a manager now that I know that knows better than me, innit? So I gotta trust dude, innit? Gotta trust him, innit?
I do trust him. I just don't trust him with this. You know what I'm saying? I trust Ten Hag fully, like 110%. I trust Ten Hag fully, but with this, like, because you mentioned it there about not watching Chelsea regular. I've watched Chelsea very, very regular for the past 2-3 years now. I'm saying.
Oh yeah, because this is a Chelsea fan channel. That's why you get me.
Yeah. Multiple friggin'. Yeah, it's friggin' Lewis's fault. You know what I'm saying? And that I told yo, look, this guy brought half of Stamford Bridge with him, the dickhead. But yeah, shout out to Lewis and that. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, that's what happens. So that's why you see so many. So for those that don't know, that's why you see so many Chelsea fans over here, because Lewis was actually the first Chelsea fan over here. And then, like I said, just all of a sudden, it's just hella Chelsea fans. But salute to all the, you know what I'm saying, the Chelsea fans who be on here. But as I was saying, yeah, so I've watched a lot. So I have more in depth, like more so than if I wasn't watching them. Because even outside of having the Chelsea fans here, I watch a lot of them. I just watch a lot more of the Premier League just because of watch-alongs. So I've watched Chelsea. I've seen them at their best when it was winning the Champions League. I've seen them at their worst this season when they're finishing 12th, and he's just not it. I've said this before. I'll say this again. Do I trust Ten Hag? Yes. Of course, I want to be wrong about it. Of course, I want Mason Mount, if we do indeed sign him, to be the best possible player. I just don't see it. And him and Bruno don't mix either. I don't get that. Because they're the same in terms of profile I'm talking about. They're not foils for each other at all. To get the best out of Bruno is not Mason Mount. And to get the best out of Mason Mount is not Bruno. Like, I disagree
with that. I think they're both very is my signal all right?
Yeah, you're moving a little bit dodgy, fam. I can hear you still though, but you're moving a bit funny.
All right, I'm gonna switch over. Yeah. I'm gonna switch. One sec.
Stress. All right, calm, no stress. Before Tox gets back, over 40 of you lot in here. Let's bump up the likes. Let me check how many likes we are indeed on. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are closing in on 7,000. We're trying to get there before the month of June is out, people. So yeah, we're at 28 likes. Girls up to 40 likes, people. Girls up to 40 likes. And we're at 6,943 subscribers. 2 more subscribers. Girls to 6,945 people. That's what indeed we are looking for. Yo. Yeah, fam, what you saying?
Yo.
Yeah, it was probably better enough. The camera's a little bit murky still. I don't know if it's because of the sun, though. You know what I'm saying? It might be the sun.
The sun, innit?
Yeah, it might be the sun. But man can hear you anyway.
Yo.
That's the main thing. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yep. Can you hear me? Yo. What are you saying? Yeah, touch it. He'll be back shortly, people. He'll be back. He'll sort that out. No stress. Big up to Yuvraj as well. Let's see. Let's see what else you lot are saying and that. Montana says Mason Mount gonna ball, fam. Trust. No, he's never balled. Like, let's kill this dead. He's never balled. He's never ever balled. I've seen him in his best season. He's never. Like, let's cut the shit. We have to see a him we've never seen before. Like, let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? And that he's never balled. Even at his very best, he was very good. That season, everyone waxes lyrical about Chelsea. I watched very closely. At his very best, he's a very good player. Let's not act like his ceiling is top class. Let's not act like his ceiling is great. Let's not act like his ceiling is world class. His ceiling is very good. So for 60, 70 million, I want better than your ceiling to be very good. If that's not your level. And I think, how old is he? 24, 25. We got to stop this. Because if
24.
24, if the season ended, and me and Eddie was doing the end of season preview, which we do on player ratings and all that, and I sat here and said, yeah, we should go sign Mason Mount. You lot would have caned me. You lot would have said I was on drugs.
Yeah, they're the flames you up.
Exactly. So let's not act like all of a sudden now it's a good idea because Ten Hag said it. Because if I said it, you lot wouldn't want to hear it. So
They'd
let's
have flamed
be
you up.
honest. Well, I would have got flamed. You know what I'm saying? What's
Yeah,
he
they'd
on
have flamed you up.
talking about? Is he drinking? Is he on drugs? You know what I'm saying? Is he related to Mason Mount? Is he being paid? So let's not act like this is a good idea. Because we've seen Arsenal fans do this with Kai Havertz, and I've seen Manchester United fans do this with Mason Mount. Let's not act like this was an idea any of us wanted to happen. Now, if they turned around and said, yo, Reece James is available, that's a different conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a player of that caliber is a different. Like, let's not act like just because Ten Hag wants it, all right, it's all well and good. Because if I said it before he did, you lot would not be trying to hear it. So let's not act like Mason Mount has ever been a baller. Again, I'm open to be wrong. I just don't see it. I've watched him. I'm like, what are you going? I don't even think he improves our first 11. I've said this, and if he does, it's marginal.
I think it's a big improvement, not big improvement, but it's an improvement system-wise on Eriksen, innit?
Okay, that's fair.
I'd go as far as saying in the big games you'll see Mount start over Eriksen. Eriksen's going to be one of them. Old Trafford, when we got control of the ball, when we got a team that don't really want to attack us, that's Eriksen's game, innit? But Mason Mount, I think he's signing to replace Eriksen, innit?
Yeah.
So obviously we'll still have Eriksen there, but he's a system player, innit? Like you need players for your system, bro. And he's bringing in a system player. I just know we have a manager that has a proven track record of improving players. So that's what makes me more on board with it. But I'm not online like gassing it up or anything. I trust the manager has a plan in it.
Yeah, you're saying you see the positives, and again, I said this last time when we did In the Mud. Like, and me and Tux know each other very well. I knew he would have this viewpoint on it because he's glass half full. I'm glass half empty. That's why. That's the major difference between us two. That's why he's laughing. I'm a lying fam. That's why I knew he'd be optimistic about this, 110%. And I hear it in regards to system. I'm just saying my issue with that is because I've seen plenty of people speak on the style. And I've said it before, I say it again. I have no issue with the style or the profile of Mason Mount. I have no issue with the style seems to be where the system seems to be going. Just go get the best in class in that. And that's not Mason Mount. That's my biggest issue with this is not that he's a system player. Yeah, Montana's saying, yeah, he's a system player 110%. Go get a better system player. The better your system players, the better your system. Because like I said, no one would have been trying to hear this if I said this at the end of the season. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
What do Chelsea fans say about Mount's intangibles? Because I'm trying to make it all make sense. So I agree with you. Go get the best in class. Yeah. So but the fact that they're not getting the best in class, I'm like, well, what's the intangibles that he might have looked at Mason Mount and said, he's the one I want, as opposed to whoever else he could have pulled from any other league, you get me? Like, what's Luke Shaw in the dressing room, in the change room, saying about Mason Mount? What's Rashford saying about Mason Mount? You get me? Like, what are the intangibles that Chelsea fans know of Mason Mount that could add some context to why Ten Hag's made this decision? Because it's a Ten Hag decision. No one's making the signings for him. So
I agree with that. It's definitely a Ten Hag decision.
I need a Chelsea fan to tell me, not Lewis, but like another Chelsea fan that likes Mount, to tell me what the intangibles are, what comes with Mount.
Yeah, the Chelsea fans might be dickheads on here, but one thing, like we've spoken football and actually broken it down, and when I've spoken to a surfer, for example, I just use him as the example when he breaks it down. All his best attributes are off the ball. What he'll give you, what Ten Hag, he got mentioned, energy. That's the one thing he likes, his energy, his closing down, his pressing, his being able to cover ground. That's what he likes about him. He'll do a job. If you ask him to play right wing, he's going to play right wing. If you say, all right, do a job on the fullback, the left back, the right back, he'll do that. Like, that's, you know what you are going to get with Mason Mount. As Eddie calls him, tryhards. That's what he is. He's 110%. Like, there's never going to be a lack of effort from Mason Mount. I've never heard a Chelsea fan criticize him for his lack of effort or his lack of energy or endeavor. That's what he's going to give you. But in terms of what he lacks is overall quality, because there's no quality players we talk about and then we say, yeah, energy and legs and covering ground. That's never been a conversation when we talk about top players. To me, that should just be there. Like, that's the bare minimum, how I look at that.
Is he not their 2-time player of the year?
Yeah, because their team shit, fam.
That's
why people need to stop.
You can't give him that, though. You gotta give him that.
No, because
you have to.
But you're not in a good side. Because even when they won the Champions League, and again, I watched that run closely, and people try, they won the Champions League. They won the Champions League because of their defense. That's why they won the Champions League. Because that Champions League team, I believe, still holds the record. No, it does hold the record for conceding the least amount of goals in the knockout stages.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, Kante, Jorginho, they were the players picking up man of the matches. Reece James, Christensen, Thiago Silva, Mendy, Rudiger. Like I said, I watched that closely, people, because I'm watching just much more Premier League football in general, wishing on other teams' downfalls. So I know this. So that's why when people try to say, he did this. Like I said, I'm not saying he was bad that season. He was very good. That season, he was very good. But let's not.
What would you give him out of 10?
7.5 for that season. 7.5. Sometimes
you need a 7.5 in the side, bro. You get me? Like, every team needs that Park Ji-sung in it. Like I said, like Ten Hag would have loved Lingard because he wouldn't have had to buy Mason Mount. He would have just had Lingard in it. But every team needs that steady 7 out of 10 player that is going to keep things ticking over. He's going to do a shift, going to put a shift in. Defending as well, but is able to keep things ticking over, moving forwards. In it, like every team needs that.
Yeah, they do. But here's my issue. Here's the because people have mentioned that and said, he's Park Ji-sung. Park Ji-sung was never a starter for us. People love to do it. You old enough, so you know. But it's the way I see people in the comments trying to revise history. Like I didn't watch that shit. I watched that. People tried that when they're like, we won with Anderson and Cleverley. Go look at the seasons that we won Premier League titles and go look at how many appearances Anderson had and Cleverley had and Park Ji-sung had and Darren Fletcher and John O'Shea and all these people try and reference. These men were squad players. You know how I know? Because I watched, and you can go back and look at their numbers. There's no season where Park Ji-sung started 35 matches, 32 matches in the Premier League. He was there to do a job. He was a spoiler.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of Park Ji-sung. Huge fan. He was critical to what we did. But let's not act like week in, week out, he was starting. No, he was there to do a job. You was a spoiler. You was there to make sure the other players or the other flair players can do their business. Hey, them players are critical. Do not get it mistaken. But if we were to sign Park Ji-sung now, I'd be against it too. Like
one thing as well. It could be the context of we're in the middle of a sale or on the back end of a sale. For all intents and purposes, people have been saying for the whole of this year that we're not going to have the money to spend in the summer.
Well,
he's coming to the end of his contract. You know, I know 50 mil, 60 mil is a lot of money, but you know, inflation and whatnot, like it's not a lot of money in today's market. So that could be a big part of it as well. Do you know what? This is a 7 out of 10 player that's going to keep me ticking over for this season. He doesn't get injured. He will be able to play a lot of games, and I get out of him what I need to get out of him until you get to next summer or the summer after. You know what I mean? When you then need to replace an Eriksen, but still keep Mount. You still got Mount there, but you then need to replace Eriksen. You get me? It could just be a ticking over signing as well, bro. Like, because we look at the players that we're looking at. We're not looking at any world class players, bro. We're looking at these functional players that will do the job that the manager needs to be done in it. So that could be part of it as well, bro. I don't think he's Ten Hag's final answer. You get me?
Yeah, he's definitely you preaching to the choir. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. He's definitely not the final answer. And someone said it in the chat. Joshua said 7.5 is not good enough to compete with C. The thing is, me with the ticking over thing. If it's a tick over, go get a younger player with a higher ceiling. Because the crazy part about this is Fabrizio Romano's tweeted this twice. The backup to Mount, if we don't get him, is Lavia. I'm just like, go get Lavia, who's cheaper, younger, and has a higher ceiling. Like that would make sense. Someone who's not ready right now, been in the Premier League season, would cost less, would definitely cost less. I'm like, I'm just not with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, any reasoning behind it, because I'm just like, what? And all the other sign, the thing is, what's crazy, all the other players we've been linked with any Vim, I'm with. Premier League or not Premier League, because I do trust Ten Hag in particular outside of the Premier League. I'm like, all right, but it's kind of like I'm not just going with anybody in regards to players I've watched. Because if it turns out today and he said, all right, we're going to go try and sign Che Adams, I'm not going to be with that just because Ten Hag wants that. Like, this is the people like, oh, just back the manager. So it's like, no, don't back the manager blindly, because we've seen better managers than Ten Hag get things wrong. Does he know more than me? Absolutely. But we've seen the managers better. We've seen Pep get things wrong. Not every people forget Pep signed Claudio Bravo. We forget this.
And then replaced him. And you know that we're gonna have ownership that will allow us to do that in it. So we as fans can be more relaxed. We operate out of like a scarcity mindset as fans, because we're used to, right, if we sign this guy now, yeah, we're stuck with him for the next 7 years or whatever the case may be, because that's what we've had to deal with, innit? But it's not that, bro. We're gonna have owners now that, right, if you don't pop off this season, bro, he'll probably get replaced next summer, innit? So I just think Ten Hag's just thinking short term, functional player, Prem experience, Champions League experience. You get me? He's gone the distance in tournaments with England and that. Like, you get me? My manager has a proven track record of improving players. So
yes.
He ain't signed a bad player yet. You get me? I went with Weghorst Stever, but I seen the job he done.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like, the one thing I do agree with, and where I defend Ten Hag all the time, is when people went, "Oh, try to get on this talent idea." I'm like, he's been here one season. Like, I need to see
with no money.
With no money, but overall, I like all the signings. Even Anthony, who people criticize, you could say, yeah, he was overpriced. I've seen the impact he's had, and you see the impact on the team when he doesn't play. So
when he's not there, exactly.
I trust, like I said, I trust Ten Hag in particular players outside the Premier League. And could he improve Mount? Absolutely. I've seen him improve Wan-Bissaka. I've seen him make vast improvements with Wan-Bissaka. I've seen him make vast improvements with most players. But I'm just not with it. But it seems it's getting close. So yeah, it was Nolito to man that asked. Yeah, he signed Pep also signed Nolito. We've seen Ferguson make mistakes. We've seen Wenger. We've seen Prime Mourinho. My point is, we've seen whoever your GOAT manager is or your favorite manager is right now, they've made a mistake at some point within signing players, because law of averages, they're going to do that. But so far, so good. I just can't get behind this Mount thing, because I see where it's going. And I don't mind the style. The pace and power thing's really not an issue, even though he's not really that. But I say energy then. You know what I'm saying? Mason Mount's more energy off the ball, pressing. That's all well and good. But I'm just go get better than that because you mentioned the price tag. If 60, it's the same 60 M's will get the deal done. It's like, if you really want a bad boy player, add 20 on that and then go get someone for 80. Or even go cheaper and split it and go get 2 players, because we need more than, even with Mount, we still need more than him. Still need more than this.
Honestly, we're speaking early though, innit? We don't know what we're going to finish with in summer. You don't know what money's spoken for. You get me? Now's not the time to get the elite cherry on top players. You get me? Now's the time to implement your style. And Mason Mount, he might just be looking at him as someone that's going to more easily help me implement my style on this team, innit? Once the style's implemented properly, because the style's not implemented yet. Once the style's implemented properly, you might see Mason Mount get switched out or upgraded on later down the line, innit? But I think this season especially, he's had to be pragmatic this season. You don't get a lot of time on the training ground because we got games every 3 days. So you're playing games, you're spending however many days recovering, and then the training time you get is to prep for the next team that you're about to face. You're actually not getting much time to work on the things that you want to work on, innit? So he might be looking at this season as, I need to get my style in play now, you get me? That might be a reason why it looks like he's pulling the trigger on De Gea as well. So we just got to wait to see. Wait and see.
We'll get to that. That's another thing. All the outgoings I like. That's why I still defend this manager. That's why I don't have no issue with it. I'm just like, but this being, you have many conversations during the Fergie era. We didn't agree with everything Fergie did. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I thought it was high off his ass at times, bro. I thought that guy was high off his ass at times, bro. Boy.
Facts.
Selling Nistelrooy and leaving us with Zaha and Rooney, bro. I thought it was high at times, bro.
I thought we were finished. You know what I'm saying? I used that example yesterday, when we sold a 30 goal a season, man.
With no replacement. We had Zaha, who was always injured, Solskjaer, who was getting on in age, Ronaldo was a right winger. We weren't looking at him as a shooter, and we had Rooney, who was like 19 or something, bro. I thought he was high. And Giuseppe Rossi, bro, I thought he was high. I thought he was bugging, bro. I was kicking off that summer.
We legit did. You legit had two teenagers in Ronaldo, Rooney, Giuseppe Rossi, Zaha, who was always injured. Ollie was getting on that. You right. I thought he was. So yeah, people. I'm just saying more often than not, we was wrong and he was right. But it's like he the GOAT to me. So it's kind of like if I can doubt him, but doubt this manager with more. But yeah, I'm with it because Ronald here says so far Ten Hag hasn't disappointed us with signing, so I'm trusting him with Mount. Hey, each to their own. Like I say, Ronald Tox is in your camp with that, in it, like in regards to trusting him with Mount. I am not. I hope to be proven wrong when we are having this conversation 3 months in and we do the player ratings 3 months in, and I don't know, he's hit the ground running. I just don't see it, man. I'm just like,
let me ask a question to you. What do you need to see from Mount this season, or from like here to Christmas, to say, do you know what, the manager was right? I see what he was going for. Like, what do you want to see from him?
Individually, his performance step up. So individually, he has to be on it in terms of not off the ball. I know what he's going to give me on the ball. I need you to be on the ball. I need you to be impacting games. You can't just be out there being a try-hard, running around, and also impacting the team overall as well. So like in terms of results, where I go, right, that game, Mount might have not got a goal or assist, but he was key in that game. How he was important. So I've seen Bruno do it. Like when we beat Manchester City at home, even before the goal, which Bruno scored, because did he score? No, he scored the equalizer, not the winner. Even before he scored the equalizer, he had a very good game. Away at Barcelona when he played on the right-hand side, I think he was probably our best attacker out there, but he didn't get a goal or assist. That type of thing. I need to see impact and better on the ball, because my biggest issue with Mount is him with the ball at his feet, because you don't give me nothing.
Yeah,
you don't give me anything. You give me no hope of doing anything. Like you're not a fantastic passer. You're not a fantastic dribbler.
Man said you give me no hope of doing anything.
You with the ball. I'm not like I'm not on the edge of my seat. Like you're gonna pick a pass or we gonna score, because you're not a goal scorer like that.
Yeah.
You don't get assists. He's got 9 open play assists. You know what I'm saying? In that, like, what are we doing?
I think he's not going to be you. One thing I truly think is he's not going to be higher up the pitch.
So you think he's going to be doing the box thing?
Yeah. So I think it's more so to not unlock Bruno, but like allow Bruno to do. Because if you look at Bruno's stats, bro, like Bruno's like defensive stats are insane. When you compare them to other players in his position, he bodies them all. But I don't want him to have to do all that type of thing. If I'm the manager, I want him to kind of just be able to do his Bruno thing up there, you get me? So I think Mount is going to more so be the one that's going to be held back a bit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you, but it's great. It's not, I didn't know that about Bruno's defensive stats, but that's not crazy.
Oh, they're insane.
No, that don't surprise me. You know why? Because Bruno's also better to me off the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like Mount in terms of I don't worry about Bruno off the ball. I've never ever once criticized and said, yo, his energy was off. He wasn't closing down. He wasn't pressing. My issue with him is also like Mount on the ball. It's kind of like, give me more on the ball. And when I look at Mount, I'm like, yo, you have 9 open play assists in your entire Premier League career. You're not creative. You don't get goals. So what are you doing? And it's not like you're a smart baller who the ball will roll into you and you'll flick it around the corner. You don't do that. So I'm just like, mine is the box thing and running around, which you do need. Well, again, squad player. If we were signing him for squad player money, it's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
Like, but there needs to be him. And I don't like how he's the first target, but we will see. Big up to everyone who's currently tapped in. Currently over 85 of you lot in the building. Girls up to 60 likes, people. We're only at 46 likes. Like check 1212. Girls up to 60 likes. Yeah, it's 5 for a minute. Hit the subscribe button as well, people. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, link for the membership is in the pinned comment. And if you do super chat, you will get straight to your comment or your question. And Montana who says, watch Mount's goals and assists. He has a short comp. Like I said, he has 9 open play assists. He's not creative. He's not creative. Like that's like they're being a content creator and they get 10 views on every video over 3 years. They're just not that good.
Yeah, I tell you that. I don't really delve into it.
That was like Montana trying to sell it like, oh, watch Mount. So he's not a goal scorer. He don't get Like
they're not the
numbers don't
stats
lie.
for Mount that you need to delve into, innit? It's not that.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
not
yeah,
the
we
stats.
know that. Yeah. I'm just saying that's because you asked what my issue with him is that.
Yeah.
Like off the ball is cool. He's gonna have his defensive numbers will be fine. His defensive numbers will be fine. A man said 11 goals, fam. Come on, I'm talking about overall. He don't score. Overall, I'm not talking about one season. I'm saying overall. This season he was horrific, and he played his part in Chelsea finishing 12th. Just because he got injured towards the end, people forget that he played. People forget that he was a part of those teams. People forget that he was there when managers got sacked, when Tuchel got sacked, when Potter got sacked. Like, let's not act like he wasn't. He played. Let's not do this. I beg. You know what I'm saying? And that, please, no. Like, let's not change the history tapes. Like, this is not what we're doing in that.
Yeah.
If he comes here and balls, cool. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I just really don't see it happening.
I trust my manager, man. You get me? That don't if he flops one, he flops one. He's not flopped yet, in it. Like, even to me, Weghorst has not been a flop because he came in and did the job that he was asked to do. He came in and put him in the 10 for a reason. You get me? Because of De Gea. You get me? So like, he came in and did the job. He's not had a flop signing yet. So I got hope. I got hope.
Yeah, it's fair. Let me just get to this quick from is this Wonder? I'll just call you Hart. He says, I think you guys are overlooking the improvement of a player in a different environment. I believe Mount will surprise us. How come we're the only top team that have to do this? Why do we have to get a player and hope he improves? Why don't we just go get a top quality player and then hope he improves? Imagine you get a top player and your manager can improve him. Why do we have to be getting from average but why are we getting Chelsea scraps? There's a reason they don't want to offer him more money. There's a reason it's Chelsea fans who are putting him in Manchester United shirts. You know the amount of Manchester United edits I've seen with Mason Mount? Multiple. You know what I'm saying? Mount's name on the back, no number. Mount's name on the back with the number 19. Mount's name on the back with the number 7 shirt. Give him the contract. Manchester Mancunian Minerals Mount. All this shit. This is all Chelsea fans talking about this. Like I say all the time, and I question the chat to say this. Tell me a player that has been criticized or divided opinion at a top club. And when I say a top Premier League club, that's us, that's Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, our Spurs, who has been divided opinion or has been heavily criticized, who's left and gone on to do anything. One thing about fans of clubs is they're either like deluded and they'll overrate their player or they'll be super critical. But somewhere like one of those two is right. If a fan base is telling you one of them players is world class at their club, and then you got the other half of the fan base saying, yeah, this guy's not all that. One of them's right. There's no player that's divided opinion like that that's left and then went on to be successful. Anyway.
But like, where do you fall on that? Like, where does the coin fall? Because I know a lot of Chelsea fans that are deeply upset that Mount's going.
100%. Yeah.
I also know a lot of Chelsea fans that are like dancing on his grave.
Yes.
But there are a large section of Chelsea fans that do not want him to go. So it's like,
and they're the
where
same
do you fall in it?
You know what? They're the same. Do you see that same section that rate him, or the same section that was like, give Frank Lampard a full-time job? That's the same set. The same set. It's the same set. It's a very similar set to Manchester United fans who are absolutely outraged that we sold Zidane Iqbal for $1 million. I say it all the time. He came through their academy. So fan bases have, in particular, big clubs have an unhealthy attachment and vastly overrate their youth products.
Yeah, that's true.
Vastly. That's where it stands with it. Because like I said, that's why I mentioned it. There's no player who's divided opinion like this left. Not just him. I'm just saying in general. Like I said, they finished 12th. There's a reason they're over the moon. Is there going to be some Chelsea fans who are upset? Yes, because he came through their academy. Same way there'll be Chelsea fans who will be upset when they sell Conor Gallagher, for example. Same Chelsea fans who were like, we need to give Billy Gilmore and more playing time. Now he's at Brighton, sat on their bench. The same Manchester United fans who were saying, no, we need to play James Garner. Now he's sat on Everton's bench. We vastly overrate. And I was having this conversation yesterday. Not just us, as in Manchester United fans, but fans of top clubs, some fans of top clubs vastly overrate their youth products. Because very few of them actually come through and do anything at the top level. You can count on one hand in the past 10 years how many Manchester United Carrington graduates have graduated, come through and been the guy. And then how many of them left and then have been the guy elsewhere. Pogba's the only one. Pogba's the only player we let go who then went on to compete at the highest level. Everyone else, we're great at playing. We're great at creating professional footballers.
Yeah.
Premier League, Championship, elsewhere. We're fantastic.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Chelsea are fantastic at that. Arsenal, I'm sure there's tail end products all over. I'm saying City, I'm sure. How many City graduates are there? You got Rico Lewis, you got Phil Foden. That's it. Liverpool is Trent. Someone told me the last one before Trent at Liverpool.
You can't.
We can't. You know what I'm saying?
You can't,
like, this is what I'm like. Yeah, it's like, so that's where it stands with Mount, this whole thing of, oh, maybe it can improve him. So why don't we go, all right, so if he can improve Mount, what could he do with a 19-year-old Lavia?
He don't want Lavia though. Like he wants Mason Mount. He wants Mason Mount, bro. Like I said, bro, we have a manager who is the X factor in it. We have a manager that is probably one of the most important parts of the team. We've not had that for a long time, innit? So I have no doubt he's going to improve Mason Mount. You're not going to see the Mason Mount from this year. I know that much. How much he can get out of him, how much juice he can get out of him, I don't know. But I know this manager, if there's any manager in the world outside of Pep, this manager will improve him. He will. And especially putting him into our system as well. Especially if we can get some of the other cogs sorted, like a goalkeeper, for example. Like he will improve him. So we'll see in it. I don't think he's going to be a long-term starter. So as soon as we got that Qatar money rolling in,
he's going to be
yeah.
I hope so. I hope you're right. Yeah, they'll click back in. But yeah, I hope you're right, fam. I hope you're right. And to Starlaw just quickly said we had Becks talking about youth players who didn't make it through. Beckham played for us, won Premier Leagues, Champions League, FA Cups, League Cups. Talking about players who didn't get through. I'm saying, or maybe even played 1 or 2 games. I say the outrage I'm hearing about Zidane Iqbal is crazy. It's nuts.
Do you know what it is with Zidane Iqbal? Yeah, and I get it. It's the fact it's his heritage, where he's from. You get me? Yeah, because he was the first British Asian player to play for United. So obviously, like, there's a lot of people emotionally invested in that. I get it, innit? So you're just seeing a lot of emotions on the timeline, but I do get and understand it. People feel like he ain't got his chance or whatever the case may be, but this manager's cutthroat. You get me? If you know anything about the manager, you know he is cutthroat. So it's what it is.
I love that point. People want him to be cutthroat until he's cutthroat onto a player they like.
There you go. Because it's gonna happen to me. He's gonna chop a player that I love at some point. You get me? Like, so it's gonna happen at some point.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? And that players get to, like I said, and that comes back to you said their emotions. People stop getting their emotions cloud their logic and get invested in regards to players. And that's the flip side. Club with player, player with club. The only constant at football clubs is the fans.
That's it.
I'll be here. All the United fans in the chat, all the fans of other clubs, you lot have been supporting your clubs for at least a minimum of 2 decades. Some 3 decades, some longer. We here for the next 10, 15, as long as we're on God's green earth, we're here. Players will come and go. So it's kind of like stop getting attacked, like, oh, I want my player to love the club and da-da-da. Yo, I just want you to perform well. Keep saying this, and I keep using this example. Just I sound like Roy Keane. Do your job. That's all I want you to do, is do your job to a high level, and I will be happy. That's it. And you know what? That will make the fans happy because we'll win games. Same way I've used this analogy before. When I go to McDonald's, I don't need the people at McDonald's to love their job. Just please give me my nuggets. That's all I want you to do. You know what I'm saying, fam? That's it. Give me my nuggets, my wrap, and I'm good. You don't need to love your job. Like, you don't.
That is funny.
I'm a lion though, fam.
No, you bang on.
When you go Foot Locker to get your kicks or whatever, you just want the person to go in the back and get your size. Don't need them to love Foot Locker. What we doing?
That is funny.
They have to love the club and get the club. Hey, Mason Mount was proper just.
He loved the club, innit? Until he don't.
Came through the until they don't. You know what I'm saying? Until this.
Not all the players that we have are United fans, you know. Like, I don't get what people think. Like, some of these man support other teams, innit? Like,
yes.
So, like,
100%. You think Casemiro's a Manchester United fan? You an idiot.
There you go. Jack Grealish, he's a United fan, but he's over there with his medals. He's happy. You get me? You know he's a United fan, but he's happy, innit? So
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is.
But like, where he like 20 or something? So he's like 20, 21.
Who? Yeah,
is it Donny?
Yeah, he's 20 years
20,
old.
Yeah, bro, the manager's made his decision, man, innit? Like, he's old enough for him to say, you know what, he ain't for me. So
That's it.
this is what it is.
I'm with you on that. Johnny here says offer West Ham 60 million plus McTominay and Maguire for Rice. Bonus 20 million and a thank you package for taking the knuckleheads offers. Laughing my ass off. So this did come out. So 2 pieces of new information. Obviously, Arsenal were in for still are in for Declan Rice. Then reports came out saying Manchester City are also now interested in Rice, but it's also now being stated that we could potentially be in for Declan Rice. Where do you stand on that, fam? You happy with Declan Rice? Not.
I personally don't want him.
Okay.
I get there's a lot of hype around him and people rate him highly, and he's a good player. I personally don't want him. I would rather we looked elsewhere. This is going to sound like some fuckery, but I can see how Mason Mount fits better into what Ten Hag wants to do than what Declan Rice does.
Really? Go on, elaborate.
I explained on the last episode, we was talking about like the tactics of where Mason Mount would fit in.
Yeah.
Declan Rice is a good player, but he's not the profile of what the team needs right now, innit? And we've got Casemiro, so
Declan
like
Rice,
Casemiro,
he can play as an 8. He can
play as an 8, but that for me that's not his best position.
Oh, you think
if you're bringing him in, for me he's a 6, innit?
Okay.
I don't see the 8 in him. I see the 8 in Casemiro. I wouldn't play him as an 8, but I see the 8 in him. But I wouldn't play him as an 8. Like, bring players in for their positions, innit? I don't bring Declan Rice in and play him as an 8. Same way I don't bring Casemiro in and play him as an 8. You get me? Like, he's a 6 or he's not for me.
So say he changed it and he went 2 6s and a 10. You'd be happy with that?
The manager would. This manager wouldn't.
Well, think okay. Fair.
2 6s and a 10, he wouldn't.
Right,
if Jose was here, one of them man, like, yeah, cool, innit? But like this manager wouldn't, innit? I'm just talking about this manager's setup. Mason Mount fits in better, 10 times better than what Declan Rice does. So when people are trying to put Declan Rice's on us and Casemiro, Caicedo's on us, I don't see it because we have Casemiro, and there's no reason why Casemiro can't stay playing at the top level for the next 3-4 years. We've seen Fernandinho go to he was 35. You get me? We see him. How old's Tony Cruz? 35. How old's Modric? 37. You get me? Like, we're seeing players now go deep into the 30s. So for me, there's no reason. Casemiro don't look like he's slowed down, not even an inch. So
yeah, he's definitely
for me, I don't bring in. We're not in the position that City are in. Like City can start stockpiling players because they're at that point in Football Manager when you get bored, innit? Like that's where they're at, innit?
I've been there, yo.
But like you get bored at a point where you just accomplish everything and you just start bringing in players for no reason, innit? Like you don't even need them like that. You just stockpiling, innit? They're at that point,
man. That's you know what I'm saying. That's just dominance. But go on, carry on, fam.
Yeah, they're stockpiling it, so they can do that. We actually have positions we desperately need to fill. I'm not spending money on Declan Rice. Like, yeah, if you can offload Maguire and McTominay and bring in Rice, that's phenomenal work, innit? That is phenomenal work.
That's what the reports did say. That's what the reports did.
That is phenomenal work. Like, Murtaugh will have to take a bow with that, innit? But he's not the player that I would personally want to bring in right now.
No, I hear you. All right. So before we get to that, large up Lewis for the raid and that. So big up to everyone who's joined from the raid, all you Chelsea jokers. Now over 240 of you lot in the building. Hit the like as soon as you land. Before you lot be in the comments chatting shit about pay the money for Mount. How about you lot hit the like button and then say that? And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, man. So let's bump up the likes. There's over 240 of you lot in here. Only 59 likes. So get that up to 90 likes, people. Like check 1212. Hit the subscribe.
Lewis as well, man.
Yeah, large up Lewis, man. This is a joke, man, isn't it? You know what I'm saying about Raid Gang, we still need our money, blood. Casado isn't free. Yeah, you ain't getting no peas, man. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that. But all right, on the flip side though, let me flip that. Say Ten Hag goes, yes, get me Rice. Are you then with it?
If the manager has a plan for him,
Okay, because you know he has a plan for him. I don't think Ten Hag signing anybody. So let's say it's the same thing, like you said about Mount, about him having a plan for him and wanting him. Say it turns out, so say reports break right now, and it's Ornstein, Romano, all them, and say Ten Hag now wants Declan Rice. He's the number one priority. Are you with that?
I'm with it, but because the manager wants it. But I'd still be saying the same thing. We have other positions that we desperately need to fill that are more pressing. True. We need a strike.
He'll be back in a second, people. He'll be back. I want to hear the response to that as well. You know what I'm saying? And yo, everyone who's locked in right now, make sure you share this across all the socials. Follow at Sarcasm City TV across all socials as well, please. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram at That's Me Flawless. At That's Me Flawless, Twitter and Instagram. At Sarcasm City TV, also on Twitter and Instagram as well. And on top of those things, go subscribe to the Twitch. Need you lot to follow across all platforms as well, people. We're only at 76 likes. Continue to get your questions in as well. We better have hit 6,945 because there's over 230 of you lot in here. And I know 110% everyone here is not subscribed. Now we're at 6,946. Looking for 4 more subscribers, people. 4 more. Get us to 6,950. By the time we end the stream, we want to be less than 50 away from 7K, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go on, Tux.
My bad. My phone just overheated and turned off, bro.
Yeah, it's time StreamYard will do that to it, fam. Been there.
Is that what it is? You know, that's never happened to me before, innit? Shit turned off.
StreamYard will do that to you, fam. It's all well and good, but we can hear you. But yeah, where you at? Because you was talking about Mount and the manager having a plan for him and backing him. You know what I'm saying? Back the manager, he's not got it wrong. So let's say Declan Rice then becomes that guy.
So I'm saying this, based off like having watched this manager for a while now, innit? I know what his style of play is. I know the players that he picks. I know the job he wants them to do, innit? Mm-hmm. Declan Rice don't fit into that right now for me. We have that spot filled in Casemiro.
Right.
So given that money short at this moment in time till the Qataris come in, if we do have the money available, bring me a goalkeeper, bring me a striker, bring me another centre-back, all before I'm looking at Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Now, I do agree, being able to bring in Rice and offload Maguire and McTominay is phenomenal work.
That is phenomenal business.
But for me, you still feel in a position that is not pressing for me right now. So I would prefer Mason Mount right now, and I know that sounds crazy, but I would prefer Mason Mount over Declan Rice because that's going to implement the style 10 times better. I don't want Rice as a number 8 in it. I don't.
You don't think Rice can do a job of an 8 better than Mount?
No.
Bear in mind, at West Ham, I'll have to ask a West Ham fan, but to my knowledge, that's what he does more so for them because Souček is the one. I'll have to ask a West Ham, but Souček for them plays the Casemiro role. And then I've not watched West Ham like that this season to know, but I know previously that's the case. I'll ask a West Ham fan and find out, but it's been Souček, and then like Rice has done more of the 8 and more of the advancing the ball and stuff like that. Right? Bear in mind, I'm not fully sold, but how you sound about Rice is how I sound about Mount. Ironically, the irony. You know
Rice isn't an 8 to me. I want him as a 6 because you going forward as an 8. Nah, like. Mount is better.
I stand corrected, Kaneki. Go on, carry on.
Mount is better coming back than Rice is going forwards. So
say that again. Sorry, say that again.
Mount is better going backwards than Rice is going forwards. Do you get what I'm saying?
I hear it to an extent. I just can't believe these are the options, but
a lot better. The Mount is a lot better.
I'm just upset about the options, but carry on. You know what I'm saying? I just can't believe the conversation we're having. We need
a box-to-box midfielder in it. To me, Rice is not the box-to-box midfielder that I would bring in. Mm-hmm. I would prefer Mount in that position, myself personally. Declan Rice is just a shiny name right now, innit? Yeah, everyone wants him, and he is a very good player, but for me, he's not an 8. I don't want him progressing forward to the other box. I would want him in the Casemiro role. There's more pressing issues that we have than bringing in Declan Rice right now.
All right, first. So
he ain't the profile midfielder I bring in.
First, would I prefer to see Declan Rice over Mason Mount? Yes, I do, and especially like you mentioned, if we manage to get rid of a McTominay and get rid of a Maguire, either of them or both. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, I'm fully with the Rice thing. I am a fan of Rice, not a huge fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's as exceptional as people make out. But like, if we were to get him, I'd be like, all right, I see much more pros and positives to that than I do the Mount deal, even though Rice is not my first option. Simply because I just think he's a much better overall player. You know what I'm saying? I think like just much better and much better on the ball. Off the ball, I think he gives you everything you pretty much need. But I just don't like the fact that they're the two players that we seem to be picking from. Yeah, it'd be hilarious to snatch a player from Arsenal and all them things there. But does he improve us? Yes, I think he does. I do think what his ceiling is, I'm not 110% sure. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he gets much better than what he is now. Not gonna lie. I think he's very close to his ceiling.
I think his ceiling is. I was having this conversation. I think it was about Rice and Caicedo, and I was saying I think Rice's ceiling is very good. I could be wrong. I think his ceiling is very good. You know what I'm saying?
You think Caicedo has a higher ceiling, no?
Yeah. Caicedo, I think, has a higher ceiling. I think he could be great. I think he could be top class. When I look at all his attributes in terms of off the ball, physicality, and then on the ball, was the fact that he can play right back so comfortably and he's just so accomplished and so composed, and then he has all the physical attributes. I see him being his ceiling is top class to me. Great, like he could be even better. Same, that's how I look at Alavia as well. I'm like, you're playing in a struggling team and you look like that. It's kind of like, all right, that's what your ceiling is. And to Jesu says, would you be more fine with Rice if the price was the same as Mount? No, it's more so. I just think he's the better of the two. So if you give me an option between the two, I'm taking Rice over Mount just because I think he's the better player. But I've said it before, I see the positives to it. Like, that's what it is. I see more positives to it. That being said, and it will be interesting to see how we did indeed line up if we were to sign a Rice. Or, if we were to sign it, well, it would be Casemiro, Rice, Bruno, which I prefer more to. I just don't want to see Bruno or Mount.
I don't like that. I don't like that midfield, bro. That midfield to me.
At least there's some ball retention in there. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, there's no ball. We're not keeping the ball, yo. We are not. Bruno, that is hot potato football, man. That is just spamming X. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, we're not keeping the ball. We're not.
The thing with Bruno, like, if you remember when Ten Hag, my manager, when he pushed Bruno back into a deep lying position, don't you remember Bruno's ball retention went through the roof, bro? Like, he can do it. He chooses not to. Bro. He's a shooter, bro. He's told to. He's told to go be a gunner in it. Go do your thing, bro. He's told that in it. You can tell. Because it's not like, he lacks the discipline or he can't keep hold of the ball, bro. When my manager pushed him back, into the role, his ball retention.
He did improve. I had less criticism.
His ball retention went through the roof. He didn't improve. His ball retention went through the roof, bro. Like, that was concrete proof for you there in that run of games. The guy can keep the ball. It's not an issue. What's happening is when he's forward in the 10, he goes to create. It is what it is. It is what it is, bro.
Cool. Let me just clarify, people. The reason why I'm not like pushing back at this, because I don't like either of these options. They're both terrible and don't push us to where we need to go. You know what I'm saying? Both midfield trios. That's why I'm so like. That's why I said when you mentioned Mount or Rice, I don't like that comparison. I don't like that they're the options. That's my problem with all this. The two midfielders you mentioned, I would not pick. I say again.
I can see it with Mount. It will work with Mount. No, it will. It will work. It will work, man. And this is not optimist talk saying this, innit? This is me. I didn't want him in it. I still don't want him. Man. But this is me going away. This is me going away, looking at it, looking at what the manager wants, and looking at what Mount gives you and saying, I see what is happening in it. I can see it, bro. A lot of people might have to eat their words. Yo, bro, this time next season, a lot of people might be in the mud, bro.
Sure, really. I'm saying, like, the same people who told me that Ronaldo was going to be a success here and I'm going to eat my words. The same people who told me when Oli wins a trophy here, don't succeed. The same people who told me, Bruno's going to be a world beater and lead us to this, that, and the third, and we're going to win league titles. Yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm still waiting.
No, that's still on the table.
Yeah, wait, what? Wait, what? What's still on the table? Hold on, wait, what?
That
What's still
last
on the
one.
table? What, Bruno
will
we
could win a title, bro. That one's still on the table.
Yeah. With him as the worst midfielder, yes, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Without that. If we get another Casemiro level midfielder and like obviously improve elsewhere, yeah. But as it is right now, if we win a league title, he's starting week in, week out, he'll be the worst midfielder. We got Casemiro, who's level above him.
About Bruno, bro.
Say again?
You lot confused about Bruno, bro. I don't get
I'm not confused. What did I say? That you know I'm right in what I just said? I'm right. I'm 110%.
That he would be our worst midfielder.
If we win a league to win a league title, yes, 110%. If we win a league title, because he's currently our second best midfielder, correct? Yeah, you agree with me on that?
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, I was just making sure. I'd
agree with that, but even that's a false statement. Even that's a false statement because you're comparing an apple to an orange. Like a 6 and a 10 are two totally different positions for me, innit? I don't grade them both as midfielders, bro. I see them totally different. I don't put a 6 in with a 10 and say
I'm not putting a 6 in with a 10. I'm not putting a 6 in with a 10. I'm just talking merely levels. We're just talking levels as a footballer right now. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just talking merely levels. That's legit. I'm not saying Casemiro. No, I'm talking Casemiro as a DM, Bruno as a 10. Who's the better player? They're not in the same way we can compare. The same way we can compare a Casemiro with Casemiro and Modric are not the same. Prime example. They are not the same player whatsoever. In terms of levels,
say this.
Let me say bracket. Yeah, go on.
Let me say this, yeah. I think Bruno does his job in the 10 as well as Casemiro does his job in the 6, bro.
Okay, cool. All right.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
I know you do. I know you believe that rubbish. I know so. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest midfielders one of the greatest DMs we've ever seen on the planet. Bruno's not one of the best 10s we've ever seen on the planet. He's not. He's not one of the best attacking
right now.
We've ever seen.
Right now, bro.
I'm talking about overall. Once Bruno retires, we're not talking about him in 10, 15, 20 years. Like we talk about a Busquets, for example, or a Gattuso, for example. Like let's not do this.
I'm talking about. I'm not doing. I'm talking about the jobs they do for their teams, innit? Like Casemiro was a 6, and Bruno was a 10.
That's a prime example. Love that. The jobs they do for the team. The job he does as a 6 is much better than the job Bruno does as a 10.
I disagree with that, bro. I think Bruno is as good as Casemiro is.
How do you think he's world class? I don't. Vera says
I think he's a step below world class. I don't call him world class yet. You have to I don't do that with players, innit? You have to achieve something as a team for me to put you in a world class bracket, bro. And you've not done that as of yet. You get me? Like for me, I would say Pogba's world class because I watched you win the World Cup. I wasn't comfortable calling Pogba world class until I watched him play his role
you don't put Kane in that bracket.
Winning the World Cup.
You don't put Kane in that bracket.
No.
Okay, cool,
bro. I show Kane all the time, bro.
No, you do.
I show Kane all the time, bro.
Because ironically, me and Saint had the same conversation, and he has the same metric as you.
Is Kane a world class finisher? Yes. Do I call him a world class player? No, it doesn't meet my metrics for it, innit? You can't achieve individual brilliance and have me call you world class. It just don't feel right to me, innit? I could be wrong, but it don't feel right to me, innit? And that's one of the main reasons why I don't want Kane.
But you know what? That's fair because that's your metric. You know what I'm saying? So I respect it. That's why I asked you about Kane. Because we will get into the Kane type of situation. And for those that are new here, this is what the channel was built off in. It was me and Tux going back and forth about things of this nature and current affairs. Secondly, these are conversations we have off air. It's the exact same shit. It goes the exact same way. And Tux likes Bruno. Like I say, he much more of just of an optimist than me. So
I love Bruno, bro.
Yeah, I know you do. You know what I'm saying? I know you love Bruno. Truly, this guy is a top red. The first person to hear he will accept Martin this channel. At least it's good to hear another person having different views. That's Talks for you. One thing he's gonna give you is a fucking view. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna give you his viewpoint. That's what it is. And just to clarify,
my view, I'll give you context to my view in it.
No, you do. 110%. I just disagree with it. But like, I'm not. If I'm giving you credit to say you're gonna give your opinion, and you will back up the opinion. You don't just say shit to be saying shit. Like, you always giving it, whether I agree with it or disagree with it. And that's why there's still 180 people here. Like, yo, what's going on with this? Like, they enjoy. Like, this is just the conversations we have, people. And just to clarify as well, to let me see where this is now. Hold up. I just want to, big up to everyone who's locked in as well. Someone said, wait, to get to it. Flawless already made up his mind about Bruno. No one can convince him. No, you know who can change my mind about Bruno? Bruno Vera. I hate when people do this. You know what I'm saying in that? Because this happens a lot in the chat when I criticize a player. If you perform better, I will praise you. Simple as that. Perform to a high level. Take us, lead us to something. You know what I'm saying? Show up. If he shows up and balls out and we win shit, I'm not gonna be here like, nah, he was terrible. I want to be wrong about him. Tuck said he has him as a step below world class. I want him to be a step. I want him to be world class. I even want him to be a step below. But when I watched him and I've seen enough where I go, yo, this is not it. But I hope I'm wrong. And I hope if we do get better players, that if he improves and becomes the player that Bruno fans say that he is. But personally, do I see it happening? No, I really don't. But we'll see. Go on, fam.
My thing, right, with Bruno.
This guy's a dick, yo. This guy's a dick. This guy's a dick. This guy's a dick.
Oh my God.
Sorry, go on. I couldn't help it. Yo, I couldn't help it.
Listen,
go on. Go on.
My argument.
Go on.
All right, last point. My arguments for why I rate Bruno so highly are literally a carbon copy for why I rate Paul Pogba so highly. It's literally the same arguments I'll be having but with different groups of people. Here you have a midfielder that is leading in the stuff he's supposed to be leading in across Europe. So we're talking about through balls completed, key passes into the final third, passes into the penalty area, crosses. Like, we're talking about all these metrics that you're supposed to be achieving as a 10, right? He is achieving. So when people say, oh, you're supposed to be leading your team to XYZ, people used to do that same argument with Pogba, and I had the same defense. These players ain't the issue, it's everybody around them, because here you have two players that are literally leading in every single metric that they're supposed to be leading in for the positions that they're playing in. Yeah, granted, one's a 10 and one was playing as a 6, but I'm talking about the metrics for those specific positions. These two players were leading across Europe. I'm talking about in the top 3 across Europe for their positions, and people are telling me they need to be leading their team to XYZ. It's not then they need to be leading their team. You can see the statistics are there to show you that they're doing their job. Everybody around them ain't doing their job, and that is the problem. I'm just having the same argument, but with two separate groups of people.
I hear the stats, but just 2 quick things so we don't, because we can go back and forth about this for like the next 2 hours.
We can go all day.
Like, legit, like, and I just can't be bothered. Because we gotta move on. But in regards to it, metrics is all part of it. Yeah, but you mentioned it with Pogba. Pogba actually led us to something. Pogba, when he topped the charts for everything, led us to something with a worse side. We won 2 trophies. We won the Europa League. We won the League Cup.
Season Pogba topped the charts for everything. He didn't lead us to anything.
No,
but I hear what you're saying. He didn't lead us to something, but it weren't that season.
No, it was 2017. If I remember the stat sheet, I've still got it. It was 2017 when he had most take-ons, most duels.
Season after when Ollie came in, he led us to stuff when under Mourinho.
Cool. Yeah.
The season where you're talking when he led for everything, that was the Ollie season, weren't the Jose season. But I hear what you're saying. At the World Cup, he did lead his team to something. But yeah, Bruno's not done that as of yet. But like we can go on this all day.
So he has to win a certain for you to call him world class.
The team around him is the problem.
So he has to win something for us to call him world class. For you to call him.
For me to call him world class, Bruno has to win
like a Premier League, Champions League, etc.
You have to lead. You have to lead.
Major.
You have to lead your team to win or the World Cup like Pogba did. Because as much as I love him as a player, I'll never call him world class unless you do that.
Yes. All right, you lot continue to get your questions in. Let's see what else is going on because we can talk about this Bruno thing all day long. But yeah, people, like I said, I'm open to be proven wrong, but we'll see. United identified Højlund as a realistic target, but the situation changed when his valuation rocketed to 86 million. That's from Chris Wheeler DM, so I'm not sure how credible he is, but I do see him pop up on my timeline all the time. If this is the case, I hope this is true. Be willing to walk away from deals because I would like to see Højlund at Old Trafford, but for 86 million is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Stop being taken for a ride by these teams. You know what I'm saying? And that. Stop being taken for a ride by these teams. Keep it stepping. Like legit, that's what it is. And that's what you have to be willing to do in these negotiations is walk away. We see City do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that. We see City do this. They did it with Cucurella.
Yeah. We have seen them do it.
And the thing is, the money's there. It's not like they don't have the finance to do it, but it's like, all right, this is what we're going to, where it's 50 mil, 60 mil, 70 mil. So if this is indeed the case, I'm with that. Because we heard this with Højlund, rumors about Kane, which we'll get onto. That's what got the rumor came out saying it was too high, etc., etc. So yeah, man, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Kai, of course not. You know what I'm saying? Big up Flawless. I appreciate your honesty and not bashing other United fans for disagreeing with you or doing the Arsenal argument. Guess that shows how much you support the club. Yeah, one, because we're just more than that here. Like we're talking, it's only football. Like I'm never gonna say, especially to Tux, for those that don't know, like this is my brother, like outside of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that, like we've known each other yonks now. You know what I'm saying? Going on fucking nearly 2 decades. So like that's what this is. So it's much more than that. Yeah, we closing in on 2 decades. It's mad. Like it's much more than that, people. And secondly, we're only talking football, so it's like obviously me and Tux are going to be respectful, but same in the chat. If you lot like Kai, you've been here long enough. I love going back and forth with the chat because I can learn something. You know what I'm saying? I like debates and that. It's just when if people go personal, then it's like, all right, I'll just block you. But like we're just here discussing the team. But in regards to it, yeah, man, I don't bash anybody. I can disagree and keep it stepping. Because at the end of the day, the proof is on that pitch. The proof is on that pitch. We're going to find out. One of us going to be right. One of us going to be wrong over a long period of time. So we'll see. But yeah, where was we at? Yeah, Harry Kane, fam. You know what I'm saying? No, Højlund, actually. Højlund and Harry Kane, both of those. How are you looking at both those deals? Because it seems, reports, have all gone quiet on both, in particular Højlund.
I want Højlund. His profile of striker is the Ten Hag profile, innit? I just hate that teams put on an extra 20 mil when United come calling. Like, so I feel two ways about it. Like, I do feel like, yo, just walk away from it, innit? Like, these teams can't keep holding us to ransom. But at the same time, I'm like, the manager wants him, go get him. So I actually don't know where I fall with it. I just hate that teams hold us to ransom. Like, you got all these teams that say we're washed and we're crap and we're not United anymore and all that, yeah. But when we come calling, they charge us the big boy tax, though, innit? Like, you charge us the 40% tax, like the rich man's tax, innit? Like, so you're either worried about us, and that's why you overcharge us, or we're shit and we don't matter, so you can just, you get me? It's like City just dash their players to Arsenal. It's like, whatever, have them in it. It's not an issue, you get me? That's a team you're not worried about. You don't need to put a tax on that. Have him in it. Like, yo, City threw Sterling to Chelsea for what, 50 mil? Have him in it. You're not bothered about him. But United go in for a player with anyone, and you want to charge us at the arse. So I said, I don't know what I would do in the situation. Is it walk away, or is it give the manager who he wants? I don't know. I'm probably leaning towards give the manager who he wants, because then at least he can fall on his own sword if he fails, as opposed to having questions around should we have backed him or not, like we've had with other managers, innit?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying with that, like 110%. Like we need to, I think what ties in to us people charging us more because they know we'll pay it in the past, and that's what we need to change. We got to change our reputation. You know what I'm saying? We got to change our reputation. We a hoe who don't want to be a hoe no more. That's what it is, fam. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know exactly, I'm right, fam. We're a hoe who don't want to be a hoe no more. But people are still approaching us like we're a hoe. You know what I'm saying? We're like, no. And they're like, huh? You know what I'm saying? You got something. That's facts. I'm a lion, though. That's
prime, yo.
How many larger prime every single time? How many players have we overpaid for? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like extra 20 million. This is what I'm saying. So like, this is why we need to be willing to walk away from a Højlund, a Kane, or whoever else. If the price gets too high, set the price and then go, yeah, cool. That's one thing I do like about the Mount deal, actually. One of the few things I do, reports did state we're not looking to spend crazy money. Because they wanted all 70 million and all this, and they dropped the price. So like, what's it called? I'm with that, with the Højlund thing. Like, it's a big up Adewale, and just to get to this, Flawless, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You know what I'm saying? If certain man knew what their wives were like before they were housewives, different conversation. Just telling you, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what to Chris Rock in it? Don't ask your woman how many people she slept with, because she ain't gonna tell you how many people she slept with. She's gonna tell you how many boyfriends she had. Big difference. You know what I'm saying?
Most hoes turn into a housewife, innit? Eventually. Huh? So
facts. Because they get tired of word to Charlemagne, they get tired of getting ran through. Facts. Where are these nuns? Where are these virgins? You know what I'm saying? And how do you know? That's why to ManDem, you know what I'm saying? Because this is ManDem United and that. Don't ask a girl you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, how many people she's been involved with before you, because you're not gonna like the answer. There's no answer she can give. She could say one, and you'd be like, damn. Don't even do it. Facts, yo. You know what I'm saying? Word to Chris Rock, man. Like, he said that. It's like she could say two, and you'd be like, right, is that how you was raised? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ask that question. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Big up Adewale for the super chat. He says, we need a DOF. The whole thing of giving a manager what he wants comes back to bite us if we end up firing the manager. This is why we need to get a DOF who gets the players that style that United wants, a style United want to play, not a manager. I do hear this. We do need a DOF. Anyway, I want to big up for the super chat. Much appreciated, my guy. We definitely need a DOF, without doubt, and a DOF and the manager should be on the same page. But because we don't have a DOF currently, we got to go with what Ten Hag's going on with. And Ten Hag should have a say in the DOF. You know what I'm saying? And who the DOF is. Yeah. They need to be on the same page. So then if Ten Hag does leave, the DOF's there and we get a manager who's of a similar style, whether it's pace and power, whether it's more possession-based, or whether it's something else. What are you saying about this, fam?
There's a consequence of, and big up Adewale for the super chat. So as a consequence of being owned by the Glazers, isn't it? Because everybody else has that model and that system. It's just us. If we were City, what we would have done is when we brought Ten Hag in, we would have been bringing Van der Sar back either before Ten Hag coming in or after Ten Hag coming in. Van der Sar's free to go and get, and we ain't in for it. He's proved that he can do a good job in that position, and we ain't in for him. That's just a consequence of being owned by the Glazers, isn't it? So them man ain't learned over the years that they've just let the managers do what they're doing. They ain't learned the consequences of that. So that's why we look how we look in it. City brought in my guy just before they brought in Pep, and look how well that's gone in it. So we should get a DOF. We won't get a DOF until we get taken over by the Qataris, isn't it? So yeah.
No, facts. No, I hear you. And Dennis says, hey, this is what started this shit, man. This is the original. This is Avengers, like, this is the original. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the duo that started this whole channel, for those that maybe don't know. And that, because Dennis says, oh, man, Flawless and Tuck, such a funny duos. This guy, Joker, you know what I'm saying? That's
big
why.
Up Dennis, man.
But big up Dennis every single time. They're single moms, Flawless, mostly becoming housewives. Both, innit? Like, it's not everyone. Like I say, Pac, like, man, I hate how ManDem try and lie and go like, oh, yeah, man, how do you know what your girl did before you? Unless you're from the same area. Like, you don't want to have this conversation, because I'll be brutally honest like I am with football. How do you know? Yeah, unless you know them from young, how do you know? Say again, fam?
So she's going to lie when you ask her anyway, so what's the point in it? Like,
so unless you know you're from the same area, or you know people from her area and you know her from young, like 16, 17, 18 onwards, how do you know? You met a girl who's 25 from outside your area. How do you know what she's done up until that point? You know what she tells you. Or you man turning into, you know what I'm saying? You man turning into Inspector Gadgets now. I hate this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I hate how ManDem try to lie on this.
Just keep your sanity in it. Like, don't worry about the past, man. Just keep your sanity in it.
Worry about the present and the future. How do you know what she's done? So she's a fire banging 9, 10 out of 10 gal, and you're the first guy she's been with, innit? Like, what we doing? What we doing here, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like, ManDem just need to... Hey, some people are in for a rude awakening. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. Yeah, you man are wilding and that. And see what, yeah, like everyone going on about Zion. Like, what I don't like about that situation is everyone taking what the girl says it's saying as gospel. Oh, how did he do this, that, and the third with the girl? So because she tweeted it, that means it's true. Like, was you in the room? People need to mind their business, innit? You know what I'm saying? They need to mind their business. You know what I'm saying? It's facts. People running with it. Oh, how can he do this, that, and the third with her? So, all right. So if a girl tweeted you've been involved with in the past, tweeted some shit about you, we should take it as gospel, yeah? Man, it will be an uproar. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. We need proof in it.
Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying in that? Facts. But yeah, ownership, fam. What are you saying about that in regards to it? Because I think that's the last time we was on here. I think it was the ownership. It was one day I had broken like some major news. But yeah, go
on. Yeah, like it's done apparently. We're just crossing T's and dotting I's, isn't it? The thing with like the ownership, it's not a transfer, isn't it? Like people are too used to the transfer format where you can just get a player's documents and legalities done just like that. It's not going to work like that with ownership. Yeah, Chelsea went quick, but that was extenuating circumstances. You had the government involved trying to get Abramovich out of the club, innit? So yeah, that was a quicker process. But if you're selling a club or you're buying something of that scale, it's not going to go through as quick as the Chelsea one did. It's just not. So when I'm hearing that it could take up until August and whatnot to actually be fully done, I'm not surprised because you're selling a club the size of Manchester United, bro. Like, there's a lot of things to do with regards to it. So it's going to take how long it takes, innit? Even if it's done right now, it's not going to change what happens this summer in terms of transfers. So it's no skin off your nose. It's just your anxiety of not knowing. You get me? But I'm told it's done. A lot of other people are saying it's done as well. So it's just a matter of it getting finalized properly.
Yeah, let's hope so, man. You know what I'm saying? And let's hope it gets done. And Eddie's saying this. They saying Hannibal could go to Dortmund for 15 million. There we go. That's a good price.
That's dope. That is very good.
That's a great price. There we go. So everyone can stop crying about Zidane Iqbal now. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems we're potentially selling him for 15 million. It was the outrage from, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It really was.
The next thing will be, right, how did Iqbal go for 1 mil, but Hannibal's gone for 15 mil? That would be the next thing, innit?
That will be the next thing. Because you know why? Your value determines, the market determines your value. That's why. Yeah. Someone wanted to pay 15 M for Iqbal, they would have paid 15 M. And I could be wrong, people. Iqbal could go there into Holland and do the business. You know what I'm saying? And Takati says, did we not pay 10 million for Hannibal to begin with? I'm unsure. I'm not sure how much. Did he not come through the youth academy?
That's what I
Did
thought.
He not? Well, it's crazy. And just to get to this from Neil Gory, who says Florida's going to get someone's girl caught up tonight. No, I'm not. I'm trying to not get girl caught. Why?
We trying to help you, man.
Yes, we trying to help you lot. Listen to us. Listen to the older heads here. You know what I'm saying in that? Youngster. You know what I'm saying in that? Like, yo, like my man from Baby Boy, I forgot his name. But yes, like, yo, don't ask. Why? There's no answer she's gonna give you. Like, I don't ask questions I know there's no answer I'm gonna like. You know what I'm saying, why ask that question? Don't ask questions you don't like the answer to. You know what I'm saying in that? Where there's no positive whatsoever. You're gonna learn nothing new whatsoever. And like I said, she ain't gonna tell you the reals. And why would she tell you the reals? Makes no sense.
If you find her attractive, other man find her attractive, so she's gonna have some form of past in it. So just move on, in it is what Facts. It is, bro.
Just move on, and you can't change everyone's metrics different and determine what's too far, what's a hole. Everyone's numbers different. True. Because there's not one universal certified. Like, if you go to this number or past this number, you're a hoe. But some man 3-4 might be too much.
Yeah.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you 3 and you're like, yeah, you a hoe. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, you don't. So why ask? I think people like problems, you know. I'm convinced.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is.
I think some people like problems. Big up C1 in the cut as well. Yeah, you would hear me say that. Flawless kills me, blood Zion as a porn star rattled on the timeline. Real nigga shit. Hey, man. She's still tweeting about him now, innit? You know what I'm saying? And that, like, it's all crazy. It's all crazy. Yeah, C1, you know what time it is. Yeah, Jazz, you would be here, man. You are jokers. Yeah, man, it's on, man. Nah, Neil, don't press the button, man. Don't is what I'm saying. Here we go. This is certain new though. United are offering Donny van de Beek to Roma alone. It is not currently a priority for Roma, but they will evaluate in the coming days. From the is that Mazio? I think it is. This was yesterday's news, by the way. Big up Warrior J. Thoughts on this, fam?
I think it's weird that Van de Beek hadn't really got a chance under Ten Hag, but it's impressive at the same time from Ten Hag, isn't it? Like, whether you've decided Van de Beek's falling off or Bruno's the better option, whatever it is, he's just not giving Van de Beek the chance, and obviously then he got injured, innit? But it's quite cutthroat. Like, you've come in, you think Van de Beek would be someone that he would kind of cling to, but he's not really bothered with him. And if he's selling him, like, I like how cutthroat it is. Van de Beek has not impressed me since he's been here, so yeah, he might as well go in it. If there's an option to buy with that loan as well, that would be all the more better as well.
No, 110%.
I remember last summer, a lot of man was saying, Ten Hag won't like Bruno, he won't play Bruno, Van de Beek will play, and I remember, man. I remember, bro, what happened to all that? A lot of man was saying that, Ten Hag, watch Ten Hag. Ten Hag won't like Bruno. I was saying Ten Hag would love Bruno, innit? Because, yeah, for all his possession-based football, he does like his gunners, innit? He does like the players that will take the risk. That's what a lot of people got misconstrued. And give Bruno the armband, innit? And Van de Beek's not had a sniff. So, boy, you get me? My manager is cutthroat. I like that.
I do like cutthroat too.
No sentimentality here, you get me? It's like, yeah, you was my guy back in Ajax days, but, sorry, innit?
I do, because he was playing and then he got injured and then he got a bad injury and then he wasn't here. But if he's moved on, so be it. I'd rather it be a permanent transfer rather than a loan. But if we can get some form of loan fee, and there is not obligation, but there's an option to buy for X amount, I'm with that. Like I'm fully with that. Like, but we will find out hopefully. And just the K-Shack who says, what about Mason Greenwood's transfer value? Would you loan him or sell him? I'd sell him. I've given K-Shack, you're new here. I believe so. I've given my thoughts on this many a times. I don't want to see him play for the club again. I'm not going back and forth with anyone about this. This isn't like how me and Tox was discussing Bruno or Mount, where like I hear the other side type of thing. I'm not hearing the other side on the situation. Don't want him to play for the club again. Hopefully we sell him. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. What are you saying, Tox?
Yeah, we discussed this, innit? Like I keep him, but if someone would buy him, for me, his value would be high, bro. Like, because obviously he's not played in 2 years, but there's a player there, innit? Like, I had all my hopes and dreams attached to that boy, innit?
Oh, we know he's talented. Without doubt.
If you're to sell him, you better get some dough for him. You better get some dough for him. Because he will ball out wherever he lands. So. Oh,
it's not a talent issue. Never once will I ever dispute that guy's talent. He's a very talented footballer, without doubt. Let's see what else you are saying as well. I think that's pretty much it. Let me see. If I missed anything, please let me know in the chat before we close out, people. Bump up the likes. Big up Adewale again for the super chat as well. Much appreciated. Believe Jai is everything in regards to Manchester United. I'm sure some more news will break. Let's bump up the likes. Have we even hit 100? Yeah, we went over 100. Yeah, 109.
We're over 100.
110. Yeah, over 100 likes. Yes, over 100 likes. And continue to hit the subscribe button, people, because over 140 of you are in here. We are now under 50 away from 7,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So we're trying to get there before the month is out, people. We're back live. Back live today.
Let me say something as well.
Go on, fam.
Let me say, you United fans, yeah, that be on social media and you listen to every single journalist that says we're attached to somebody. Stop that, innit? Because you're winding yourself up. I don't know how long you man have been watching football for, but I've been watching football since from when you could get the news on teletext. You get me? Like, from when the newspapers used to do exactly what man are doing now on Twitter, but in the newspapers, and you always knew it was bullshit. All these journalists on Twitter talking about United are interested in X player, United appreciate Y player. You get me? United are looking at Z player. Bro, all of that is cap. All of that is bullshit. And all of it is just designed to get interactions from you man that are vexed, you get me? Because you man think we're moving slow and missing out on 1 million players, and that's not fucking happening. We ain't actually trying to get any of these players that they're linking us to, but it's easy to just throw a United link in there because that boosts your interactions. That boosts how many United fans are quote tweeting, retweeting, liking, in your replies, vex. You get me, subscribing. Like, it's always been that way with United. And if you're a United fan, you have to understand that, innit? So just because all these journalists, like I see man, retweeting journalists that write for the Mirror and the Daily Mail, bro. Like, why are these credible people to you, bro? Like, I don't, it pisses me off, bro. I'm not naming names, but I'm seeing like big YouTube man that like do this thing in this space, vex online about man from the Mirror and the Daily Mail, bro. Like, these are not credible people with credible links, with links to the club, bro. Like, it's not that. Stop thinking we're linked to everybody. We're fucking not, bro. So, like, do we want Mason Mount? Yes, that's clear to see. That's clear to see. But other than that, like, do we probably want Kane? Yes, that might be clear to see. Do we want Holland? Like, yeah, that's clear to see. But all these other man, bro, it's all cap. Stop falling for the okie doke. You man just are like ranting all day online about shit that these men are just fabricating. I don't know when it happened that man didn't realize that these men are chatting shit, bro. Because we used to just know that. We used to just know that, innit? We ain't reading nothing on the back pages and taking it as gospel. We know that's all cap. Them man are reactionary. They only know what's happening after it's happened or while it's in the process of happening. So stop thinking all these men have inside links. They don't know what's going on. They're just chatting shit to get interactions, bro, and you're giving it to them.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I'd mentioned that as well. But I'm glad you said it, and you said it in a much more cutthroat manner in which I did. In regards to, I see it all the time. Like, oh, you've been linked to someone. Oh, I keep it credible source. Oh, you've been linked to Pickford. What's the credible source?
That was a funny one.
Yeah, who said it? Oh, Talksport, the Sun, the Daily Mirror. What? And you're here asking me about, and you're here mad about it. You know what I'm saying? In that. Ollie Watkins is another one. And knowing you mentioned it's all about clicks, it's all about views, it's all about retweets, it's all about replies and quote tweets and shares. Because they know if they put Manchester United linked to insert player name here, it's getting numbers. It's getting attention.
That's it, man.
Like a Jordan Pickford or Ollie Watkins.
Just make a sexy story in it. Man are like, oh, United wanted McAllister. There was nothing anywhere to say we wanted McAllister until Liverpool was about to buy him, and it's, oh yeah, United were in for him. When? Where?
When?
Yeah. It don't even make sense, man. Like, it just sounds good, innit? Like, so, oh, they beat United to it. Like, Arsenal look like they're getting timber. Oh, ain't that United's target? No, not since last summer. And then we opted to go get Martinez instead of Timber. It was a straight shootout. Ajax was saying, we ain't selling both of them. We went for Martinez instead. We've not been linked to him since. But all of a sudden, now Arsenal are about to get him. Yeah, United want him to beat and United to it. No, you're not, bro. We don't even need him. We don't even need him. We're not getting another small centre back. He can play right back, and we've kept our 2 right backs, so we don't need him. We've got no use for him. But why is it that United are in? We're not. Stop it, man. Like, it's annoying to see, bro.
I hear you, fam. You know what I'm saying? I fully hear what you're saying. It is. Like, I just see, that's why I'm like, why people getting wound up? Like, when people say, another thing, adding on to what you're saying, oh, Manchester United are moving slow in the transfer market. I said, Liverpool have signed 1 player. Manchester City have signed 1 player. Chelsea have signed 0 players. Spurs have signed 0 players. Arsenal have now signed 1 player who's a terrible player. So who are we behind? We're behind in the social media transfer window. There's 2 different things. There's the actual transfer window, and then there's the social media transfer window. And it's like, I don't care about winning the social media transfer window, because you know why? Social media transfer window don't come with no damn trophies. You know what I'm saying? In that, what comes with actual potential trophies is the actual transfer window. That's why when I get asked, and the chat will know this, that's why when you see people write comments, they'll put at like Warrior Jaded at Chris Reeler DM. at Ornstein,
Yeah,
at Fabrizio Romano, at whoever. Because then it's like, all right, can we take it as gospel or not? Like, we'll discuss it hypothetically. Cool. I'm open to discussing things from a hypothetical standpoint, as far-fetched as it is, whether I rate the player highly or I don't rate the player. However, it's like, it's social media. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? It's literally social
media. The transfer window opened last week, bro. Like, so to say we're behind, Havertz hasn't even stood up there with the Arsenal shirt yet, holding it up. Like, that's not even done yet, bro. Like, you get me? So, yeah, bro. So it's like, yo, we're not. We have our targets. You can clearly see we have our targets, and like we're moving through the targets, bro. Like, just give it a minute, bro. We're still selling a whole football club at the same time, bro. Like, it's not just gonna be bang, bang, bang. Like, it's not in it. Like, it's just not, bro. Like you said, the social media transfer window, bro. I get it. When you see us linked to a million players all day long, it can make you feel like we're moving slow. But bro, we're not in for half these, man. 3/4 of these, man, bro. More.
Because where it's either there's no official bids or no offered or agreed terms. Like Mount, like you mentioned, we know. Kane, yes, there's legit. That's probably the two. Even the Onana link.
That's it.
Like, yeah, the stronger interest, and credible sources have said that, but we still made no official offer. We've still not offered no terms. I would like Onana, don't get it mistaken. Well, let's wait and see. Because he was Chelsea bound.
There's no accountability in the window. Romano coming out the other day and saying, "Oh, United appreciate Lavia." I'm like, what does that mean? See, you see how you could just dash United in there, like United. We didn't need to be mentioned, bro. Like, every club probably in the country appreciates this brother in it. Like, United appreciate that. Don't just dash us in there like that in it. Like, what for, bro? Because now all the United fans are in his replies going crazy and all that. You get me? Like, stop it, man. It's so frustrating to see, and you man fall for it every time. United appreciate, man. What does that mean?
That's what I said. I quote tweeted. I was like, "Yo, what does that mean?" And then the next day, he did say, "Yeah, United are now interested." I was like, "All right, so it's gone from appreciation to interest now." So that's a step in the right direction,
bro. But do you see how people play with words? Because that's the same shit. That's Aaron and Ash, bro. That's the same shit. Bro, stop it, bro. I hate that word, bro. The interest. You can say that about any club, bro. And there's no one to say you're wrong, and there's no one to say you're right in it. United are interested. Like, we're interested in everybody then, innit? Like, it's just annoying. It's so frustrating, bro.
Matthew said it here. Big up to my guy. Matthew says, breaking Declan Rice is turned on about the prospect of playing with Mason Mount at Old Trafford. And that's from our ex West Ham United employee on Twitter. See what I'm saying? Turned on, seduced, appreciate, interest, with strong interest. Like, I'm just like, yo, like, cool. We appreciate Lavia. All right. So do I. You know what I'm saying? So do I. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
It is. But yeah, actually, before we go, fam.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's calm. Go on. Say what you're gonna say, fam.
I can't remember now. It's good, bro.
Cool. No stress. I was gonna get to this before we did close out. Cause I get your thoughts on that. The Hayes contract running out, still not signed it. I believe it runs out the end of this month. You know what I'm saying?
8 days left.
Yeah, so if we don't sign him to a new deal, he could walk for free. Links to Onana as well, because we do have the extension. So if we do offer him a contract, well, the contract's there. It's just signing it, and then he will get a year extension. What are you saying about this? The head to stay, moving on. Who are you looking at as replacements? Do you want him to stay but bring in a new number one?
I want him out, like, fully in it. I don't think we have any use for him whatsoever. I think we had a conversation. I was on. What show was it? Was it the Arsenal show with you and Carmen Troops? And I was saying, like, I don't like him, bro. Like, I can't stand him. No worries. So, yeah, no worries, fam. Getting rid of the Gea, that would be a massive win, bro. Like, even if we got rid of him, and didn't even replace him with a number one. Even if we got rid of him and brought like Dean Henderson back, I would take that, because I don't like this De Gea brother. David Ornstein was saying today as well that it's us that's holding out, innit? He's ready to sign. He wants to stay at the club. He's planning on reporting back for training and all that jazz. but it's us that's holding out. So I'm hoping that it's the manager that's like, nah, I can't deal with this guy no more, innit? So that I hope we're getting rid of him. If we are, massive credit to Ten Hag because he's dealt with the majority of the largest problems that we had. And like I said, David Ornstein, David Ornstein said today that De Gea is ready to come back. He's ready to report back to training. He's ready to sign the thing, and it's us that's like kind of withdrew it.
We slowing it down.
Yeah, he said that today, Ornstein. So,
all right.
If that's the case, and Ten Hag's really like trying to get rid of man, massive ratings, because he's a massive problem.
Talk about what do you think the problem is? What do you think it is?
He's a terrible goalkeeper, bro. He only ever had one standout attribute, which was his shot stopping, and that's failed him. So when your one attribute has failed you, what else do you have? And there's nothing, bro. Like, you don't do anything a goalkeeper's supposed to do, bro. Your communication's terrible. Your whole back line does not trust you. You don't come out and claim crosses. You don't come out and punch balls that are in the air that are yours to be claimed. Bear in mind, you can grab a ball with your hands, bro. So you're like 6'3". You can jump and grab a ball with your hand, and you refuse. You get me? Like, you refuse, bro. Like, and your distribution's terrible. You will have 15 goal kicks, and all 15 of them will go nowhere in it. Like, you're terrible with the ball at your feet. You flap. You make mistakes. Like, you get all of those things, you can kind of live with if you wasn't to make mistakes as well. But you make like big fuck ups as well. Like,
yeah.
And you can see that defenders can't deal with him, bro. He's not been in the Spain team for however long. Them man just got rid of him. Yeah, did you ever deep that? Them man just got rid of him, and that was it.
I did a deep that he just doesn't play, and we just accept it, bro, that he don't play. But yeah, he's here with Manchester United.
He's at home chilling, bro. They just got rid of man, and that was it. And they did this time ago, bro. It's not recent. Like, they got rid of him ages ago. You get me? Like, bro,
you're right. You're right. We gave him a black. Well, I can say I gave him a black for the longest when you put it that way. Because the fact he wasn't in the squad, I was like, the hair, this, that, and the third. And then now it's just like, as we improved in particular with Ten Hag, we've seen his glaring errors. We've seen his glaring errors and his deficiencies in his game. Because all of a sudden now we're playing better. It's kind of like, how we a better side and you look worse. That makes no sense. We've improved overall as a team.
You
look worse. Yeah? Like on the Ollie side,
games as well, bro.
All those shots to Lamborghini. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's costing us games.
Yeah.
That FA Cup final, Lord of mercy.
Both goals.
I can't blame him for the volley.
Don't get me wrong, it's a worldie, bro, but like, come on, bro. Like, at least like
it's a worldie, you know.
It's a worldie, bro, but like, I don't know. I think the other goalkeepers, I think, get close to it, innit?
So you're not mad that he didn't stop him. You're saying he just didn't get close enough to it.
There's just nothing from you, bro. And then we drag ourselves back in the game. It's 1-1. And then you concede again, like, because
the second one was inconceivable. Yeah, that's ridiculous. The second one's outrageous.
I've said this to you in the past, bro. You know it's trash, yeah? Because when a ball comes into the box that he should claim, and say you get like a Varane or a Martinez or a Luke Shaw, right? That they're close to the ball that comes into the box, they'll kick it out for a goal kick, for a corner, sorry. And then they'll look back at De Gea and they're saying to him, like, where was the shout? You don't even communicate. Like, you're so not confident. Like, you don't even say, oh, my ball, goalie's ball. You get me? Like, you don't claim nothing, bro. Like, you're so passive as a goalkeeper. Like, I can't stand him. So if we're able to get rid of his wages and get rid of him himself as a problem, I'll be over the moon, bro. I'd fucking bring Dean Henderson back, bro, over De Gea. I really would.
It's not bad.
I really would. Yeah, it's terrible.
Crazy.
You watch the Champions League final, and you're watching Onana with the ball at his feet. Even Pep was saying before the game, like, you don't even want to close him down because you don't really know what he's going to do with it. Like,
he's smart enough. He's got the passing range to pass it around you and play through the lines type of shit.
Exactly. The passing range and even just the confidence within himself, where if he sees you're trying to close down his passing lanes, he'll just stride forward with the ball 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards forward. You get me? And then reassess, watch it if something's opened up, and then pick the pass. You get me? Imagine they're doing that, bro. Like,
I've never seen this guy drive with the ball.
Never, bro. But if he was able to do that, do you know how much better it would be for our gameplay? Like, he's bad, bro. If we can get rid of him, because no one's gonna buy him, because his problem is the wages. So even the wage that he's gonna go down to if we let him sign, no one's gonna give that wage to him anyway. So no one's gonna want to spend transfer money on you, and no one's gonna want to pay you wages anyway. So if we sign him up, we've got to deal with this problem again in a few years' time, where it's like we can't get rid of him, might have to let him leave on a free. Like, he's gonna be a problem down the line. So just cut your losses now. Cut your losses. Fucking even if you don't bring in fucking a striker, bro, and you bring in a keeper, bro, I'll do that, innit?
So if you don't bring it, you're just right. I'm with you on the goalkeeper thing, though. We need a new goalkeeper. I don't care who. I trust Ten Hag with that. Onana he's worked with before, cool. If it's somebody else, cool. We just need a modern day goalkeeper. You do. We do.
Anybody.
Without that.
I'll take anybody. I'm telling you, I'll take anybody, bro.
I can tell that you're just tired of me. I can tell. I can tell.
We got 8 days left. 8 days left, bro. I'm hoping and I'm praying. If he signs, if we give it to him, then we really got no money in it, like, and it's a desperation thing.
A new deal. I think it would be such a monumental statement if we let him go on a free. We're not fucking around. You're not good enough. Let him go on a free. Same way Pep went into City and just got rid of Joe Hart straight away. Brian Claudio Bravo.
This would be akin to that.
Exactly.
This would be akin to that. This would be up there with that.
Well, and that's why I'm hoping we do. The same way, like you mentioned, he was cutthroat with Maguire. The same way he was cutthroat with the Cristiano Ronaldo. You need to be cutthroat. Without doubt. And I believe it's July, I think it's the 12th, Warrior J. Don't quote me on that, though. It's July the 12th for the 10th, something like that. Someone in the chat will know anyway. But yeah, love to everyone who has locked in. Talks, anything you want to add before we do indeed close out?
Nah, man, this is good to be back on it. Bless for bringing me on, fam.
Yeah, man, it's always good in the chat. It is, man. It's good to like have you on because it just takes it back to just the original settings, and it's always gonna be gonna be jokes. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be jokes. You're all gonna say something and that. And to Diallo who said you look like brothers, cool guys. This is because we've been having this conversation for years, and that's why not this one in particular, but just footballing conversation for young people. So we was doing this before we was doing this. You know what I'm saying? And that, like,
just that you are now like on the conversation. Years old, bro.
Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? From youngs back. So yeah, man. Love to everyone who has locked in. We're back live today on the Twitch, people. Fan calling show on the Twitch, 8:30 p.m. UK time. So just over 2 hours from now, live on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch, Sarcasm City Sports fan calling show. Anybody's free to call in. Doesn't matter if you just found the channel today. Doesn't matter if you're a regular. Doesn't matter who you support. Feel free to call in, people, and get whatever off your chest. Even the last one on Tuesday, we had a couple of the regulars, but then we had some new people as well calling. Don't matter where you're in across the globe. Don't worry about your English. It's probably better than mine, people, and I do this shit for a living. So don't worry about it whatsoever, man. And yes, to Montana who says on with Cam tonight. Yes, the Manchester United Arsenal show at midnight, people. Manchester United Arsenal show. So myself and Cam, Cam's gonna be livid about the Kai Havertz thing. So that's gonna be interesting as well.
If that was on earlier, I'd jump on you.
You're fucking menace. You're fucking menace. But yeah, people, we got to redirect to Big Six Months as well because they're going live in about 10-15 minutes. Big up the whole BSB gang months and the entire hierarchy. But like I said, 8:30 p.m. UK time, you know what I'm saying? Fan calling show on the Twitch. And then following that, midnight, we're back here on the YouTube for the ManDem United podcast meets the Gunner Talk from the Arsenal podcast. You know what I'm saying? Manchester United Arsenal show. There'll probably be some new news break as well because we're both linked with Rice, Kai Havertz deal, plus more. But yeah, man, just love to everyone who's locked in. Hey, man, you lot, the way the numbers have gone up, you know what I'm saying? Much appreciated, man. So just please continue to support. We really, really appreciate it here. We're going to continue to provide you content throughout the summer months. And then when the season's back, we're going to be back at it again, people. But yes, love to everyone who has locked in. And this has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.